Afternoon, VC. All right. So I just saw John at the Digital Gramophones video for the Holy Trinity Challenge. I believe the rules are you have to show 3 consecutive albums from a band that you consider to be their best. They had to have had at least 5 studio albums. And you can't show any comps, EPs, things of that nature. Now, I've already disqualified myself once and took down the video, and then a viewer was able to disqualify me the second time. So this is a very difficult challenge, much more difficult than I thought. I'm being lazy with this, and I didn't pull these records, so that's probably part of my problem. Didn't do my homework. We're going to give this a go one last time, and but I want to thank Dave, I think that's his name, at the Dark Stuff, and you can hear in the background the ice cream trucks coming down the street for the kids, which is nice because it's already 80-some degrees in this town. Anyway, yeah, we're here where my rock records are. So we're going to see what I can find in the rock records, if there's any that might qualify for this challenge. So the first that came to mind, which I actually got wrong, was Helmet. And this run of records, the first being Strap It On. That's the first I heard from them. My friend Jake in college turned me on to them. New York heavy band, phenomenal. Page Hamilton is a god. And then you have this album here, Meantime, which was a huge one for them. This copy actually is an original and belonged to Luke at Premium Sound at one point, was his personal copy. And then, because I don't have it on the shelf here, I had pulled Aftertaste, and I love this record, and it's underrated. I completely skipped over this bad boy. How I could do that is blasphemy, but anyway, here it is. Betty. It is a 10-inch, and so I keep this in a separate place in the house with my other 10 inches. But yeah, this has great stuff like Milk Toast on it, Biscuits for Smut, Tick. So many good songs on this. Wilma's Rainbow. I have a single of Wilma's Rainbow somewhere. Anyway, yeah, Helmet. So those 3 there. And you have the Mars Volta. This trilogy of records is fantastic. Deloused in the Comatorium. And then you have Francis the Mute, which is one of my favorite album covers of all time. And then you have Amputecture. This one kind of started to get out there, but in a good way. Dylan at Noble Records was actually playing this one the other day in the shop. Then you have like Maserati, an instrumental band from Athens, Georgia. There's a good one. You have The Language of Cities, which was their second album. Very difficult record to find now. I found this at at Lunchbox actually a while back. And then you have Inventions for the New Season, which is my favorite record from Maserati. We were actually guests of the band up in Asheville at Orange Peel, and I bought this record from the band at that gig. And then you have Pyramid of the Sun was after that, and is fantastic. They started moving a little bit of a different direction here on this album, and would continue on in that vein. Let's see, next, another instrumental band, this time from Chicago. This run of 3 records from Pelican would be my favorite. This is debatable because a lot of people love Australasia and stuff after that, but this 3 record run is my favorite. City of Echoes. This record, which Sherb actually digs and has, What We All Come to Need. The only record they actually had vocals on one track, Alan Epley from The Life and Times on the final cut on that. And then Forever Becoming, which is the tour I filmed a gig have a DVD of, at Local 506 up in Chapel Hill. Fantastic album. Great stuff from Pelican. Then you have like Pile from Boston. I just showed their demonstration record in my last video. This 3-record run of them is phenomenal. I have Magic Isn't Real, an absolute masterpiece from Pile. They're a very unique sounding band. Some great guitars on these albums, great vocals. Dripping, which is probably my favorite from them. Magic Isn't Real though is up there, but I love this record. And they just made t-shirts of that album art, which is really cool. That are for sale on Bandcamp. And you have this record that came out after that, You're Better Than This. And this is probably one of the first records I heard from them that turned me on to this band, and it's a great album. And then you have one of the best 3 run of records in rock history, in my opinion, from Queens of the Stone Age. Their first album, which basically is like the Desert album. Queens of the Stone Age. Regular John is my favorite song from them, and it's on that record. Opens things up. You have R. This was one of the tours I saw them on twice. I saw it something with Vast down at Ground Zero in Spartanburg, South Carolina. All kinds of great songs on this one. Monsters in the Parasol, phenomenal shit. Great album. And then of course the masterpiece, one of the greatest rock records of all time in my opinion, Songs for the Deaf. This is some kind of crazy EU copy that has bonus tracks. Mark Lanegan on vocal on a lot of this is unbelievably fucking badass, and Dave Grohl is otherworldly on this, one of his best performances on any record. Let's see what else we got here. John Spencer's Blues Explosion. I have a ton of their records, but this run of 3 is probably my favorite from them. Orange. Russell Simmons, Judith Bauer. That's a fantastic LP. And then my favorite from them, Now I Got Worry. I saw them on this tour in Columbia, South Carolina, and I went into Papa Jazz, which was across the street from the venue at the time, and John Spencer was in there buying a big stack of records, I think he spent $300 and some bucks, and had them shipped back to his apartment in New York. The owner of the shop did that for him, which was really nice. And then Acme, which is an underrated record. They changed their sound somewhat on this, but I dig it. And you have these 3 records here from this band that are essential. From OC's, Orc, Smoke Reverser, and Face Stabber. And I saw this tour up at Carborough, Cat's Cradle. Double drums, phenomenal. There's some footage on my channel somewhere of that. You have Tool. I was just playing this Fear Inoculum in the last video. This run of 3 is probably my favorite from them. Undertow, which is a later copy of that. Enema. That's an original of that, and an original of Lateralis. Saw them a million times, but opening night of this tour in Atlanta at the Tabernacle was fantastic. They were the only band. Played 2 full sets. Played the new video on a screen while that was going on in the set break. And then this one I'll show. I disqualified myself earlier for this, but whatever. Unwound. Great Pacific Northwest band. Dom just saw them in New York City. I love this run of records from them. So you got New Plastic Ideas. That's an original of that. My favorite record from them, The Future of What, original of that. And then I have the self-titled in one of these box sets. So that would be the run of 3. But I do love this one that came after as well, Repetition. Phenomenal. But yeah, that's just a few for the Trinity Challenge. Hope you're all well. Peace.